everyone, and thank you very much to joining us for this new webinar on Dynamics 365. Today we will see how partners can better sell Dynamics 365 for sales. I am your host, Cyril Courret, Product Manager at SherWeb, and today we have three guests for this webinar. Ronald Chang, that is a Senior Product Marketing Manager at Microsoft Canada. Ric Mccutcheon, that is a CRM MVP and the President at Full Contact Selling. And Ronnie Oman, that is Partner Technology Strategist at Microsoft Canada. This webinar is being recorded. We'll send you the link in the next 48 hours. There is a box for asking questions built into the webinar software. So if you have any questions, please don't hesitate and we will answer them at the end of this session. That being said, let's start with the agenda. So here are some of the topics that we're going through. We will see what is the difference between Dynamics 365 and the current CRM Online. Then we will see what kind of offer you can create for the SMB market. Then we'll have a business talk about Dynamics 365. What is the opportunity on the market? What is the return of investment? The new functionality that they can really bring a new value to this product. Then we will see how SherWeb can accelerate you on services for Dynamics 365. Then we will have a demonstration where you will see the power of the functionalities of the sales version and the integration with Office 365. Then we will have a question and answer session. So really send all your questions during this session. We have Frederic Charest, that is a marketing strategist, that will answer your question. And then we'll review some of them at the end of the session to share with everyone. So we'll start with Dynamics 365 for sales. And I will give the mic to Ronald. Ronald, are you here? Hi, Ronald.
Hi, guys.
Great. You can go now. Now you have access.
Great. So thanks, Cyril, for that. Just give me 1 second. Okay. So as we're going through, so thanks, Cyril, for the transition. So as we talk about the big difference for Dynamics 365 and between CRM Online and Dynamics 365, really the big difference here is Microsoft is unifying all its business applications and breaking down the silos between ERP and CRM. And what that would do is that they'll deliver a new business process as a service. What happens there is that all the apps will bring together the best of all Microsoft ambitions across ERP and CRM. And ultimately what happens is converting them into these individual applications, such as sales, marketing, finance, project service, customer service, operations, and field service. And really what that does is that it really gives you a different set of advantages where now you have the ability to purchase applications that are purpose-built. You can continue to derive productivity from the integration with Office 365. You can have take advantage of the intelligence now that's built in across advanced analytics through the Azure platform, and ultimately adaptable in a sense that you can adopt these solutions as your business grow as well. So looking at specifically the difference between Dynamics CRM and Dynamics 365, you can see here that before when you had Dynamics CRM, now it's broken into its individual modules. Dynamics 365 for sales, Dynamics 365 for customer service, and then 365 for field service and project service as well. And then from a AX perspective, when we look at the rest of the Dynamics portfolio, you have Dynamics AX Net that now is Dynamics 365 for operations. And then you have what was previously announced as Project Madeira is now Dynamics 365 for financials. And then Dynamics GP, NAV, and SL, the balance of the Dynamics portfolio will continue to exist as is. Great. Now that we've covered quickly the sort of key difference from a product perspective between Dynamics CRM and Dynamics 365, what I'd like to do is actually focus on the sales aspect or the sales applications for Dynamics 365 and sort of the benefit that sales teams today can derive from adopting Dynamics 365 for sales. So looking at the landscape today, one of the key things when we talk about customers is customers today value customer experience more than ever. And in order to provide experiences that sets your business apart, it's really important that anyone on your sales teams can easily access consistent and detailed knowledge of the customer information and all their past interactions. For example, if you think about our own experiences when you have to keep repeating yourself each time when you talk to a new salesperson, when you interact with the brand, you know how we typically feel really frustrated when we have to go through that process. On the other hand, if you're able to have a consistent and progressive engagement every time you talk to somebody through the service process when you engage brand, your perception of that brand completely change. So that's that really is sort of the key piece of the experience that we're trying to drive with Dynamics 365 for sales. So with that said, let's take a look at a couple of examples of how Dynamics 365 sales can help. So Dynamics 365 for sales makes it a lot easier for businesses to give sales staff access to complete and consistent customer information. For example, you can make information readily available to anyone on the sales team with familiar tools. Dynamics 365 for sales has a deep integration with familiar Microsoft applications like the Office 365 suite of tools, including Outlook and Skype for Business. Secondly, a lot of companies have disjointed information. To give you an example, customer information could be written in a salesperson's Outlook or daily planner, while order information for the same customer is in an Excel spreadsheet, and ultimately the support tickets from that same customer could be sitting in a third system. With Dynamics 365 for sales, it's easier than ever for employees to store and access all the latest information in one place. Finally, by having a complete view of the customers, employees can easily access the customer's buying history and preferences. They can also provide a more personalized experience with information like birthdays. Next, today, staying connected with a customer is the key really to building trust and long-term relationships. So one big advantage of Dynamics 365 for sales is that it extends familiar tools, again, like Outlook, to make keeping in touch with the customers a seamless part of your sales team's day-to-day activities. For example, everyone on your sales team can do things like perform routine activities like planning their day, reviewing customer information, or holding online meetings with colleagues within a few clicks, leveraging Outlook or Skype for Business. Using Outlook and Dynamics 365 for Sales together, your team can schedule customer meetings, keep track of their key milestones, and easily emailing customers to stay in touch. And finally, you can engage customers in real time with IM and online meetings in Skype for Business. This can really help your business stand apart by enabling business and service employees to be more responsive and maintain contact with customers. So now that we covered how Dynamics 365 for Sales doesn't have to be so complicated, if you're still on the fence, here's a couple reasons why you'll be glad you got started now. First, it's easier than you think. Employees can catch on quickly with easier and familiar tools, so they can immediately start to be productive and get the benefits of Dynamics 365 for Sales without a steep learning curve. And the other thing about the fact that Dynamics 365 is a SaaS-based service is that you don't have to worry about installing new software or system. Second of all, it's affordable. Dynamics 365 for Sales is part of a family of product that lets you add components at your pace. And because it's fully managed and delivered in the cloud, there's no capital expense for servers and software. You can just turn it on and pay a monthly fee as you consume. And finally, it's time to start getting the benefits of Dynamics 365 for Sales. Businesses who are up and running on Dynamics 365 for Sales really continues to benefit from the productivity gains of Dynamics 365. They quickly realize gains in productivity and sales, and they start down a path of building their competitive advantage by providing excellent customer experience. So finally, just to tie off, Dynamics 365 is available today. Oh, sorry, I'll just flip the slide. Right. So again, yeah, Dynamics 365 is available today, and really sort of the key benefits here is it's flexible, so you can start where you need. The productivity in terms of the great integration with Office 365 and its full family of productivity tools. The intelligence that's built in terms of you can really start to leverage some of the easily accessible intelligence and analytics tools that are part of from the Azure suite that are now built into Dynamics 365, and customers can and users can leverage that, and ultimately it's ready for growth. So as the customers' organizations grow, they can adopt the modules and the users that they need based on their configuration requirements.
Thank you very much,
Great.
Ronald. We will now go for the business talk. Okay. So I will give the mic to Ric. That's going to speak a bit more about the opportunity. What you should go there, what kind of return of investment you can do, what kind of bundle you can do. So Ric, the mic is yours.
Thank you, Cyril. Can you see my screen okay?
Yeah, I gave you control. You can control it.
Okay. All right. Just give me a quick second here then. Okay, good afternoon, good morning, everybody. My name's Ric Mccutcheon. I'm a Dynamics CRM MVP and CSP, Certified Sales Professional. So I just want to talk to you a little bit today about the opportunity of Dynamics 365. Now, I've been in the CRM business for over 20 years, and I've got to tell you, if you're getting into it now for the first time, you're getting in at the right time. The market is on fire. All the partners I know that are in this are very, very busy. There's a huge ISV community growing around Dynamics 365. So there's lots of work to do, lots of customers looking for this technology, and you're at the right place at the right time and at the right webinar. So my practice is this. I'm an independent consultant, and what I do is I work with partners looking to develop CRM practices in both, getting them up to speed and onboarding them, but also getting them to use Dynamics 365 sales in their own business. So really, I'm a Salesforce automation expert in that area, as well as I work with partners who bring me into their existing customers, and I do CRM Salesforce automation planning sessions. And at the end of this webinar, I'll tell you about a monthly planning session we do with Microsoft and the Canadian Dynamics CRM user group, talking to end user customers about how to get started with CRM. So let's get into the opportunity of what we're working in. Like I said, it's on fire. So if we start looking at what's coming out from Gartner Group and the analysts in this area, we start to see that CRM is growing considerably. So the market grew to $20.4 billion in 2013, up from $18 billion in 2012. We're also looking at this other report saying this market's going to jump to $36.4 billion by 2017. That is tremendous growth. So we're seeing growth in the platform. We're seeing growth in license sales, in revenue around services, around ISV applications. Everything's growing. And I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the reason why I think it's growing. I think it's growing because companies are finally getting to a point where they're seeing this type of technology as mission critical. And many projects that I'm getting involved with now are coming actually from the senior line of business management. For example, a new CEO will come into a business and say, let's see some reports on what's going on with our business, not only what we did last quarter, I want to see what we got coming up the next 2 quarters. If you don't have CRM technology, you can't do that very well. So this is Nucleus Research, and a couple of years ago, Nucleus Research put out a report that said every dollar you spend on CRM, you should get a $5.60 return. That was in 2011. Well, they just redid this report, and look what they've got now. They're saying it's up to $8.71 return on investment. And the reason being is the value of the data. And the reason we're seeing the growth in the market is also data. We have data coming into our businesses like never before. Not only in the old days of selling where we had a salesperson who had their account list, but now we've got a whole world of social media coming at us and talking to us. We got customers that are, they want self-service type portals so they can interface with us. We have vendors want to do the same thing. We have partner relationship management systems we're building today so we can manage our channel and our partners. So a lot of data is out there. We've got to put it in one place. So when we look at this too, they say it's really being driven by analytics, social collaboration, and mobile capabilities. So the market's growing, and again, as I said earlier, you're in the right place at the right time. So when I talk about CRM, I use the word ecosystem because that seems to be the hot word in business, your business ecosystem. So let's take a look at what Rosabeth Moss-Cantor says. She's a professor at Harvard Business School. She says ecosystem conveys the idea that all the pieces of an economy come together in particular places and that their strength and interactions determine the prosperity and economic growth. Think of this as your garden where you need fertile soil, seeds, and other ingredients to make things grow. So think of our business ecosystem. Who's in our business ecosystem? We've got our customers, of course. We've got our prospects. We may have some sort of channel that sells our products or services, so we may have resellers. We may have franchises. We may have distributors. We also have vendors and suppliers who are part of our ecosystem. So there's a lot of moving pieces and a lot of people to refer to and to talk to and to communicate with. And companies are realizing they've got to manage this ecosystem, and the only way you can manage this ecosystem in a business is with CRM technology. So let's go forward and start talking a little bit about who benefits from CRM technology in business. So once we start selling cloud technology, especially around customer relationship management, we're going to find we're really going to engage more with the business side and not the IT side of most organizations. And here's a good example. So I work with the CRM user group community, and I facilitate user adoption workshops at our annual conference. So 5 years ago in my workshops, I'd say 2/3 of the people coming to talk about user adoption were IT people. Well, this year when we surveyed the group, we found that over 3/4 of the people in my session were from the business side. So they're the ones consuming CRM, but they're the ones buying CRM. And in fact, I've seen reports saying that technology buying is moving out of the information technology department and into the sales and marketing department at a huge rate. So there's a lot of things changing. So who's looking for CRM and what's the ROI? Well, I think the C-suite is the #1 people that are looking for CRM because they realize they've got to do more with less, they've got all this data, and they need reporting. We've got tremendous intelligence BI tools that we can use with our technology, but the BI tools will only work if we have the data, and the only way you can get the data is through CRM. Business management departments, these are the big drivers for CRM. Of course, sales management. I'm a Salesforce automation guy. I've automated hundreds of sales organizations. And I'll talk to you specifically about these benefits in a moment, but there's many ways sales management can work. Marketing management. You can't really take the two apart anymore because it's so much to do with social selling, so much to do with the internet and pre-sales and content management that you've got to work the whole thing together. Customer service. We can no longer have a customer service department that works 9 to 5. They've got to work with self-service portals. They've got to work 7/24. And a lot of times our customer service departments are now responsible for generating revenue. Here's a big area of growth, and if you're looking at all the products within the Dynamics 365 suite, you'll see one for field service that's absolutely tremendous. And I think this is going to be one of our next big growth areas. So now we can automate our field service. So now we have one truth of information for the C-suite shared by sales, marketing, customer service, and field service. And of course, we've always got to bring IT into the conversation because they're going to have to maintain the applications even though they're in the cloud, right? So these people are all looking at CRM today, and you know what? They're pretty savvy on CRM. I'm meeting a lot of executives who are now into their second and third life cycles of CRM technology. So the market's ripe. The customer is very educated about this, and now's the time to get into the business. So when I'm working with sales organizations, what do we talk to? So when I'm having a conversation with a sales manager, what are they interested in? Well, they're interested in these areas: generating revenues, retaining their customers, managing territories. They have to hire and train and manage people on an ongoing basis. There's fairly high turnover in the sales career. So if I'm a sales manager and I've got to go out and find, retain, and train new young people, I need to have the best technology. They're also concerned about channel management. You know, most organizations today have some sort of partner channel that they work with. How do I manage that data? Competitive threats. How do I know what's going on out there in the marketplace? I've got 50 salespeople out in the field. Are they gathering competitive information? Report generation. Do I have easy access to dashboards and reports? And I've got numerous examples of where sales managers spent weeks and hours per month putting together reports that now they get every morning. They get there, it's on their dashboard. And of course, the sales managers have to satisfy the C-level executives. They've got to be seen as doing something. So to be honest with you, 5 years ago, sales managers, we kind of had to drag them into the CRM. Now it's changed. It's come full turn, and they're demanding these applications. Therefore, this is why we're seeing this kind of growth. And not just growth, we're seeing companies actually really leveraging this technology and using it. So let's just look at a couple of applications within, sorry, I'm jumping forward here, a couple of applications and how sales management can use it. So in Dynamics 365 Sales, we have the most powerful technology on the marketplace for Salesforce automation by far. We have an underlying technology in our applications we refer to as XRM. So it's pretty much, this application is built on .NET SQL Server. So if you're a company supporting custom applications or any other applications on this platform, your team can actually build any kind of customizations that a Salesforce could possibly need. That's the custom build. It also has the most powerful set of entities for actually customizing a CRM system. So most of the time when we roll out the first time, we don't even get into customizations. It also has built-in workflow technology. So I can take that whole process from lead to prospect, from opportunity to close and to sale, all within one application driven by internal workflows. I can also monitor and manage your account management and do a whole bunch of other great things, all with really the out-of-the-box application. Very, very powerful. Now included in this is surveys. So surveys are included for monitoring your customers, asking them what they're doing, following up on them, seeing what their reaction is from your onboarding, from your marketing, from your account management. Again, all that data can go into CRM into one place. Our mobile platform is one of the most powerful in the marketplace today, and I was at Microsoft at Redmond a couple of weeks ago, and they showed us what's coming out in mobility, and I gotta say it's even getting better. So every salesperson today wants to be able to, use their CRM on their laptop. They want to be able to use it on their tablet, and they want to be able to use it on their phone. With Dynamics 365, that can all be done. Here's a couple of things that are really, really interesting. So I do a lot of work in the area of social selling. So I'm going to talk to you about social insights and social listening, also included with CRM Online, or as we call it today, Dynamics 365 Sales Online. In this application, let's say, for an example, I'm a sales rep and I'm going and I'm calling on ABC Company. Well, I can go into Social Insights. As I put the record in ABC Company Save, it'll pull up a list of ABC companies and saying, which ABC company are you talking about? When I pick the right one, it'll go in, fill out the CRM for me, add all my information. That's tremendous. And when I show this to sales teams, this is by far the #1 application they're interested in, because now I can pull all the information in. I don't have to type it, but it's also scraping the internet for social insights. So it'll usually give me the executive team at that company, the sales team, the marketing team, and all the people that can be found on the internet attached to that company. And guess what? I can start creating records for them directly into CRM, and most of those records include email and phone numbers. So from a prospecting perspective, there's millions of companies available to us through Social Insights that I can download and add to the system. Very, very powerful sales tool and a big, big time saver. What else the team at Microsoft is working on these days is something called Dynamics 365 Social Listening. Well, social listening does something else. It scrapes the internet too, not just for company information. It scrapes the internet for conversations and sentiment. What's going on in your marketplace? So you can go out there and let's say you sold office furniture. I could say, okay, I'm located in Toronto. Give me all the conversations and social listening happening about office furniture, and it'll go out and grab all those conversations. And that may be a big, broad thing to start to listen to, but I think it kind of serves up the idea. But I can also go out and listen to, what are they saying about my company? What are they saying about full contact selling? Is it good? Is it bad? Who's talking about me? And we can actually pull that data in and create leads into our system, or cases into our system if it's a bad sentiment, to make sure we follow up with. And think about the power of this. We can also start to look at our competitors and what people are saying about them. This is a big area of investment. And you know, when we talk about CRM and Dynamics 365 sales, you can see it's not just about sort of leads, opportunities, and contacts anymore. It's about much, much more. And this is about ecosystem, how we manage and monitor that ecosystem. Okay, I'll show you a couple more things. This I'm really excited about. So I was looking at this a couple of weeks ago. New product, Dynamics 365 Gamification. Since I do Salesforce automation projects, I'm going to spend a lot of time with this product. So what is gamification? I'm sure we've all heard about gamification in technology, but even when I first heard about it, I wasn't quite sure what it was. Well, gamification is this. It doesn't have somebody play a game all day. It makes a game out of what you're doing. So for example, if I'm a salesperson and I create a lead in CRM, I can automatically get 10 points for that. I take that lead and I convert it to an opportunity. Oh, I get another 10 points. If that opportunity was worth, let's say, more than $10,000, I could get another 10 points. Now all of a sudden I've got 30 points on my scoreboard. Well, that scoreboard is now competing with all the other salespeople in the office, and it's up on the up on the wall, and everybody can see it on a big screen TV. Well, I close that opportunity within 30 days, and that's a bonus 20 points, right? So now I get a bonus, and all of a sudden we got a horse race going. Well, in this product, there's a fantasy sales team component to it where I can take my salespeople and put them on teams. So let's say I've got 50 salespeople out there. I could put them on 5 teams of 10 each and mix them up with my top performers and my bottom performers and manage them as a team and have them compete as a team. This will drive my top performers to coach my bottom performers to make them perform better. Now this product, again, fantasy sales has taken it to a different level where we can actually have people who are non-sales in the company be cheerleaders. So they can say, I'm going to pick this team and that's my team. I'm going to cheer for them. And all of a sudden the sales team's got a whole bunch of more coaches in there telling them, what to do, how to do. Exciting product. And they tell me that this is going to ship with every copy of Dynamics 365 sales altogether. So the applications that I showed you today will be shipping with Dynamics 365 are all bundled in. If we go out to our competitor, and everybody knows who our main competitor in this space is, they're going to be paying 2 to 3 times as much for the same technology. This gives us, not only we have a great product, but we have a product that's well priced, well positioned, and I think is really going to take up a lot of growth in the market. Now, I've done a lot of work in other areas too, such as portals. So customers are asking us for self-service portals so they can go and put their own cases in, put their own orders in, get to their knowledge base, all that type of stuff. Again, Dynamics 365 has that application with it, and you get a free portal now with every license that's shipping. So what's the opportunity? I think you'll see that there's lots of opportunity here. So what's the opportunity for your practice? Well, I think the first opportunity is everybody needs to be starting to use Dynamics 365 sales in their own business. If you need help with that, reach out to me, and there's lots of resources we can put together to help you get started on that, but it will help you sell more. Step 2. Decide what you're going to do with your business. Do you want to just bundle this in with your Office 365, or do you want to start a practice? Is this a practice area that you're going to go out and start to develop? I suggest start to develop a practice area because I personally think with the growth of this product, there's just not going to be enough of us around to get all the work done. And in fact, I'm on the advisory panel for a group called Extreme CRM. In fact, we have a show coming up in a couple of weeks in California and another one in Europe in the spring where it's Microsoft CRM partners coming together. And last time we had an executive board meeting with about 20 executives on it, and we started to have a discussion on how much do companies spend outside of the licenses. And that group, we came up with a number that it was somewhere around $10. So for every dollar they'll spend on a CRM license, they'll spend $10 on services. So what are those services? I'm just going to give you a few to start off. If you guys want to talk to me after, where I can get more in depth on what you need to do to ramp that up, I'll put my contact information up in a minute. But XRM development, developing applications and integrations, data services. Everybody, once they start to consolidate CRM, they need the data cleaned up and they need to purchase third-party services. So you can not only sell CRM, you can sell data services. Coaching and training. Companies now are spending a lot of money on training and coaching in CRM. In fact, when I work on a project, I say, okay, you break it into a third planning and design, a third for build, and then a third for coaching and training. Integrations to other applications. We're talking powerful applications here. So, they're going to want them to go back to their existing ERP or to Dynamics 365, which is going to have a whole workflow underneath to be able to integrate with. Lots of work there. BI and business intelligence. If you haven't looked at the Power BI product from Microsoft, look at it. Beautiful product. Mobility is always growing in our world. I talked about portals. I talked about social marketing. Process design is a lot of what the work I do, but this was more the BA work and the process design work. Lots of revenue there. Setting up support. A lot of people are outsourcing their support. And third-party apps. There's hundreds of third-party apps. In fact, go look at Microsoft App Source. It's a new store. So if you're developing IP, you can put it in the store as well. So all these partners that are developing apps for Dynamics 365 will go there. Gamification, big growth area, and outside of BI work, is that the old writing reports. Some people still want that done, but this is where people are spending money. This is where we're seeing the big growth in the CRM marketplace, because now sort of the tire has hit the road and this thing's moving forward. So if you want to join us, every month we do a webinar between the Dynamics user group community, which I'm the chair of, my company, and Microsoft. And if you have customers interested in CRM, we have a Dynamics 365 for Sales monthly webinar. We do it the first Tuesday. So if you're interested in getting on this list, please go onto LinkedIn, find Ric Mccutcheon. You'll find two of them. One guy's a big bodybuilder, or me. So I'm this guy here. Find me, go in, click in. I will get you into our CRM partner group as well. I'll make sure you get on the list for the webinar so you can invite your customers. And if you're in Canada, I know we have a lot of Canadians here today, there is government funding available for training. So if you're looking to get your customers trained on CRM or your own internal technical, non-technical user training, there's some funding available from the government today. So on that note, I'll sort of leave it off and I'll send it back to Cyril. So thank you, everybody.
That's great, Ric. Thank you very much. So now we'll see, guys, how SherWeb can accelerate you for this business and this big market that Ric just presented. So when you go with SherWeb, you always get a dedicated account manager, okay? We really have a personal team and tools. You get access to pre-sales engineer and technician that they are certified, and you get access to our partner toolbox, that is a marketing and sales white label content that you can use to promote the product. We have a provisioning tool called Cumulus that is a white label portal. On this one, you can really do the instant provisioning of licensing and services, and also you can manage your monthly billing. For the Dynamics 365, the services that you can resell, we have some turnkey configuration. One is the Rapid Start CRM that has been designed for SMBs. So really it's a wizards-based tool, so you or your end customer can custom Dynamics 365 for sales on your own. They really look at what SMB really use. We have as well for financials and onboarding that include qualification, configuration, data loading, and basic training. In terms of support for Dynamics 365, it's a 24/7 365 bilingual support. When you get licensed with us, you get automatically the basic support for free. So on this one, we can help you with connectivity issues, basic how-to questions, user creation, assigning user, and integration with Microsoft components. Then we have for Dynamics 365 an advanced support for a monthly subscription per full user. So on this one, really, we go to the advanced custom field addition. We go on security, dashboard, process and configuration, workflow, customization of the existing module, and data migration. All those services you can resell as a partner. Then we have for financial, a dedicated support. This one is working with a yearly subscription. So on this one, you are getting the onboarding. Then you get support on functionalities for the product, accounting tasks related to the product, and report generation. As Ric and Ronald say, Dynamics 365 is really a growing market, but this solution is working with other PCs. So Dynamics is really the business application, but around that, there is Office 365, that is the productivity. Then you have the infrastructure. So at SherWeb, we have a huge cloud shop where you can find a lot of services. So with the help of our account manager and tech support, you can really bundle services and create the offer that will provide a full solution to your customer. So you can bundle it with Office 365. You can bundle with an accounting tool that is the financial. You can have Skype, disaster recovery, online backup. Really, you can really bundle a lot of products. So feel free to contact your account manager. They are there to help you on this. And just, I would like to share something with you. You might have missed it, but the advisor program of Microsoft, it's ending. It was ended in October 1st. So what it means is like you are not getting incentive anymore on this program. So if you transfer your license with SherWeb, you will get a 15% commission for the first year, and then you will get a 5% recurring commission every month. So don't miss these things. If you are an advisor, review your program and speak with your account manager. So we'll now go to the demonstration with Ronnie. So he will be able to show you really the power of the productivity and the power of the options. So Ronnie, I will give you the control. You should be presenter now, Ronnie. I cannot hear you, Ronnie.
Let me know if you can see my screen.
Yeah, we can hear you and see your screen. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, let me get rid of this panel. All right. Hello, everybody. Great. I mean, isn't it so exciting to hear about what Microsoft's doing with Dynamics 365? I am pretty excited with these new features that Ric spoke about, and we're seeing a lot of interest in the market. So what I know that we are really short on the time piece. What I want to do is quickly show you from a salesman perspective. What's a typical day in the life of a salesman when it comes to Dynamics 365? Now, let's look at your own sales divisions and your salespeople in your organization. What do they start with? The first thing that they do in the morning is they pick up their mobile phones or their tablets and they say, so what is my work assigned for me today? What is my agenda looking like? What are my meetings? What's happening in my patch or business patch that I need to give more attention to? So Dynamics 365, I have kind of created this. This is what a Dynamics 365 would look like on a tablet. We've got a similar screen for this for mobile phones as well, but just for the demonstration perspective, I've taken this view from the tablet. You can see that it's been arranged. It's like, what are the activities? What are the leads that are there that have newly come in? That means I need to pay more attention to these leads. What is my current sales pipeline looking like? You can see that I've got the funnel there. I'm hopefully going to make some money this year. And some of the progressing opportunities that are working with that I am responsible for, and what are their dollar values. At a single glance, you get to see this is a kind of a mobile dashboard for a salesperson. And what are these active accounts? That means these are companies that I have special interests in, and maybe I'm prospecting with them, maybe I'm having conversations or doing business with them. All of this intelligence is based on the Dynamics 365 data that's sitting there on my profile. Okay, now, so I had a look at this dashboard in the morning and I decided, okay, so let me have a look at this new lead that I have. Okay, so I'm going to click in. Now, what happens is the view that you see here of CRM is nothing but the view that you can see on a tablet or a mobile phone. It's been rendered to actually suit the mobile phone that you're actually using or the tablet that you're using. It gives you a complete or rather a very high level description of what you need to know about this particular lead that's just come in. This is the owner of the lead. This is what they're interested in. These are the contact details. And what is the information that they're going to buy something this year? The budget that they have is 200,000. This kind of tells me, okay, this is at a single glance. If you see, I've only done clicks. I've not entered any data. I just from a single view on that tablet, I can see the whole information. Now, one of the things that we spoke about, Ronald had spoken about, was the integration with Office 365. Now, that is what Microsoft has traditionally been very strong with, that we have created the way we navigate on a computer or a laptop. Everybody is familiar with Internet Explorer as a browser. Everybody is familiar with Office 365, how they need to be deployed, what is Office 365 in the cloud. We have just seamlessly integrated Dynamics 365 onto Office 365. So let me show you what that really means. From the first, let's look at the look and feel. I'm sure all of you would be familiar with this window which says that this is the Office 365. And if you can see here, the icon that I have, Dynamics 365, is another app that has been added to the Office 365 piece. All right, going ahead. So when a person actually logs in to Dynamics 365 on a desktop or a laptop, there are several views that you can see. Now, I'm logged in here as Veronica, who is a salesperson. This is what my opportunity pipeline is looking like. And now you can see this piece, which is the Yammer. Yammer is our collaboration suite, which is part of Office 365. So I can be collaborating and communicating with maybe my sales manager, everything from, I can say that, I am doing a demo for SherWeb. And then this goes as a notification to all the people associated with you or the particular opportunity. And you're going to get this Yammer screen or a lead or an account or an opportunity. And you can have people associated in that Yammer group to work on it. So I'm not going to click on save, but I just want to show you. So as you scroll down, you can see now you can start getting some dashboards. You can see that I've got 3 leads that came in. That was the same 3 leads that we saw on the tablet. I can see these are what are my dollar values for each of my top opportunities that I'm working on. I've got my top customers who actually closed. These are the intelligence that has been built in are based on workflows. I like to see my top 10 opportunities. So that's why I've actually created one of the portals as that. Then I look at what my activities are that I need to have. I have these tasks to be done for today. I have these phone calls to be made. All of this is there on my single dashboard screen on the desktop as well as on the mobile phone. Now, one of the things that you'll always see people very comfortable with is working on spreadsheets. Traditionally, those were some of the places where all the major calculations of this world have been done, right? So let's say, for example, can we still do that? And this is, again, the power of that Office 365 integration. Let's say that I have the top opportunities. I'm looking at it from a graphical perspective. When I click on what it's really doing, it's now showing me what those exact records are that's being displayed in that graph. So now you get a view of the records and what those values are and the graph as well. Let's say I want to do some editing. Do we need to, typically in the olden days, we had to take this data out of CRM, pull it into a CSV or an Excel file, open up with that Excel file, do our calculations. Today with Dynamics 365, what we can do is, sorry, we can do what we call as open in Excel online. So what it's really doing is it is creating, since you're part of Dynamics 365, Office 365, it knows that you have an Excel subscription. It is now recreating the entire list onto Excel. I can go here, make some changes. I can edit it. I can add my formulas. All of those wizards of Excel can still use their skills within the CRM application. And after all the changes that you've done, all you need to do is click on the menu that says Save the Excel data to Dynamics 365. What it really does is, in the background, it goes in and saves that in the back end of the CRM system, which will be reflected the next time you actually view that. So I'm not going to do that because I've got a lot of data over here, but this is another piece where we have the Office 365 integration. Now, another thing that a salesperson always does is to work on emails. Keep emailing quotes, proposals, communication. How is that really tracked? So let me show you. This is what my Outlook looks like. Okay, and I can look at. There is a tab on my Outlook that says CRM. If you can see, every entity within in this Outlook can be an email or a phone call or an appointment. I can link it with a particular record in CRM. Let me give you an example. I'm just say I've sent an email out to, let's say, this one. All right. So look at this email, Alex to Northwind. This is just a test email that I've sent. What Outlook is really doing is it has already identified this email address, and it says here that I'm going to link it with the North Traders account because he knows that this belongs to there, and all the information. Now, any communication post from this, okay, will be linked to that particular account. Now, let's say I want to change that. I think that that's not the right one. So let me say I can click here and say set regarding. Now see what happens is it opens up my Dynamics or CRM application, and it's saying, okay, if it's not Northwind, what is it that you really want to link it with? I want to say that I want to link it with an opportunity. Okay, and let's say I've got Northwind opportunity. So these are the opportunities that I want to. I can select any one of them. I can say I want to link it with this. Let's say add, and now if you see on the, it's actually been linked to the opportunity that I've. So now the CRM understands that henceforth all communications over this email thread will be linked as activities onto that opportunity. So where do we see all that? Just a second, my mouse is a little slow, sorry about that. So if I go in and if I go into, let me just open up an opportunity. All the activities that I linked on my Outlook is actually being shown in the activities task. So when a sales manager or the salesperson actually logs in, everything that's happening on this particular opportunity can be viewed in the activities tab. Another great thing that Ric mentioned was the insights piece. I'll give you a better example. If you see, it's identified that Northwind Traders is the company. It's trying to connect over insights to the Northwind Traders portal. But let me show you a better example. If I go into accounts, okay, I click on Microsoft. This is what the power of insights really is. So let's say I'm going to sell a product or a service of yours into this company. So it now suddenly gives you all the news about that company that you are, what's happening in, did they make any purchases, what are the big what are the bigger, success stories? Did they make any acquisitions? All information that's been published by that company can be seen in the insights. But what is really insights? What's more important for me is, like Rick said, it now tells me all the contacts of the people or the key executives of the company within your CRM itself, right? And it gives you the news. And if I click on, okay, it's a little slow. Okay, let me try that again. Yeah. Okay, so I think it's a little slow. So what happens is when I actually click on the icon, you can actually see the contact details of these key contacts with the employee. Then if I go into research, it tells you what the financial statements are, what are the similar type of companies, all the information, all this intelligence is already there within CRM. This is powered by something called as Insights from Inside View, and this is very, very powerful for salespeople when they go in and say, who are the people in the same industry? I know I crossed time, so I'm going to pause for now. This is what I wanted to show you. So just to recap, we talked about the Yammer integration. We talked about how we can talk to Excel. We saw how we can do the Outlook integration and how everything in CRM is tracked in Outlook. And then we saw what is Insights with Inside View. Back to you, Cyril.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Ronnie. I think that really shows that that the product is easy to use and very powerful. We could spend more time on it. I know it. It was a lot of functionality to show, but thank you very much. So now, guys, we'll go to the Q&A. So really feel to continue to ask a question. So, someone from the US asked if you can resell product of SherWeb, and of course we are working with US, Canada, and Europe. We are really worldwide, so no restriction on that. One of the question was if Dynamics 365 for sales, what is the minimum size or minimum seats? If you remember on CRM Online, it was a minimum of 5 seats. Doesn't exist anymore with Dynamics 365, so no minimum, sorry. And we have some organizations that are working even with only 1 seat. So that's really about the need that you have. Even a self-employed can use this kind of solution to manage leads and opportunities. So no restriction, and of course no limit in numbers of seats because it can be an enterprise product as well. Maybe Ric, you can help us on the next one because you have a very good understanding of the market. If you have to position Dynamics 365 compared to the famous competitors, where do you position it? What can be the advantage or the pro and the con? Yeah.
Well, thanks. It's a great question, and I run into it all the time because I'm involved in a lot of competitive situations with higher-end products and lesser-end products. So, our main competitor out there is twice as much money from a dollar perspective, and there's a lot of CRMs that you can buy for, $10 or $15 per user per month. So we're always talking to customers and partners about what's the difference. And the difference, I believe, is the way you can expand on Dynamics 365. We're built on .NET, so you can build out just about anything you want. As well, we have a workflow engine that's second to none. So really handling the workflow of your business and the power of that business. And the third thing I tell people is, if your company's using Outlook, if your company's using Office 365 online, there is absolutely no other CRM that you should be using than ours because it's built by Microsoft for our Microsoft stack, and our technology is just going to continue to embed itself and get deeper to, you're going to be running a Dynamics 365 desktop integrated into your Office 365 desktop and desktop, mobile app, everything. So especially some of the stuff we have coming with the Cortana platform for intelligence, I mean, it's going to become even more powerful in the future. So we're just seeing the start, I think, of something that Microsoft is going to deliver in the future that is really going to sort of outpace all our competition.
Yeah, and to add on that, I recently see on AppSource, LS Express Retail create a new app. So I think with AppSource, compared to other competitors, we can really bring with apps verticals, and we can really bring new functionality. So I think that as well, it's a big one. Okay, another question is more oriented to Nav. Okay, yeah. So Ronnie, maybe you can help on this one. The question is how we can set it with Microsoft Dynamics Nav. Some of our clients are looking to CRM technology. Can it be made compatible with Dynamics Nav on-premise?
All right. Yeah. So we have now. Cyril, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, so so Nav continues to be there. Microsoft is still going to invest on Nav and AX. But if you look at what we're coming out with Plan 2, which is including the operations piece, that includes the AX as well. Now we are still going to have connectors with Nav. We can still continue to use all the integration mechanisms that we had with CRM Online, which can still be connected with the Dynamics 365 CRM. But the only thing you got to remember is that when you move on further ahead with AX moving into the cloud, what you're really going to get with that full single license is the entire lead to cache capability on that single solution. But to answer your question, yes, we can still connect with Nav as we could do with CRM before.
Yeah, what we see again, I go back on the AppSource, but for me, it's really a big opportunity. We've seen that Nav partners created apps on it. So again, yes, you can bring your solution, and I think that's really a big differentiator. So we're running out of time. Really, thank you everyone to join us today. Thank you to our speakers. That was great. So for you guys that are already partner, follow up with your account manager. Go on, ask them anything. They will come to us if they don't have the answer. Start to offer our different services. If you are not partner, just go in our website, review what we are offering. It's very easy to sign up, and you will get pricing and plenty of other information. So thank you very much, everyone, to join us today, and hope to see you soon.